G'day there everyone, welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, I am Turk, the old man metal dude. If you have been here before, I very much appreciate you coming by, checking out another video. Today we have another song by a band that I have checked out before. I've done, I think, three or four of their songs previously. This one is, as you could probably tell by the title, Nightwish, and their Song of Myself. I believe this one is from their Wacken performance, much like a lot of their other videos. Could be wrong, it could be a different year. It does not say in the title, but a lot of the videos of theirs from Wacken do seem to be from 2013, but we'll see how it goes. Without further ado, let's get into the video, shall we? This is Nightwish and Song of Myself. Yep, 2013. Before it really gets into it, I just want to point out the bass that Marco's using there, the Warwick Buzzard. I've recently had the opportunity to pick one of those up, have a little bit of a play with it. I couldn't play it too much because it was a left-handed model, but goddamn, they weigh a ton. So I'm going to give all the credit in the world to Marco for being able to play a full set using one of those heavy bastards. Certainly not what I'd be choosing to do, that's for sure. Just before it really gets into it, the stage show these guys put on is just phenomenal. Like, yes, two of the videos I've seen have also been from this concert, so I already knew that the stage show was pretty good, but even the other live performance I saw, such a fantastic live show. Really do think that if they ever do tour Australia again, I may go check them out.
Locked in the cage, the deep breath I took still poisons my lungs. An old oak sheltering me from the blue, sunbathing on its dead frozen leaves.
Once again, I hate to stop it in the middle of it, but I just have to point out fantastic guitar and bass tones they've got there. Like, just so meaty and chunky. And let's not forget Floor's amazing range of vocals, going from great soaring highs to some really good sustained lows, which are hard for women to achieve at times because just the way, our voice boxes are set up. The larynx is different, obviously, for women and men. Much like a lot of men can't handle sustained highs, a lot of women can't handle sustained lows without a lot of training and natural talent. But I'd say Floor's got a fair bit of both, because you can't do what she does on natural talent alone. You have to have had really good training. And she nails it. Every time I've seen Floor perform, this now being the 5th video and 1 or 2 revamp songs I remember from many, many years ago, absolutely nails the performance. So hopefully we can get a bit more into it with this one. Oh, and let's not discount the drums, which are spot on, and the keyboards, which are just providing that over-the-top ambience. Fantastic performance. It seems like there's no vocals or anything intricate happening right now, so good place to pause, I guess. So far, this has been one of the better examples of Marco's vocals. He's really well placed in the mix, unlike, I think, the last video I did where he was a bit light and I did mistake Floor's fry vocals for Marco. I apologise to everyone involved and to Nightwish's fans. It was an honest mistake based on not being able to see which vocalist was doing which, and yes, assuming that it was the male vocalist doing the heavier stuff. I know better now. But this has so far been a real good example of the shared vocal lines, but very distinct who was who. And yeah, his vocals like complement hers so very well. And as always, huge props to any musician who can play an instrument and sing at the same time. Much like a lot of singers who are purely singers, being able to control a crowd and navigate the stage while still being able to sing extremely well. It's not an easy task, and have anyone who can manage it well has my admiration. I do apologise if people might think I'm pausing these a bit too much. Any videos from Varkin are a bit of a minefield copyright-wise. Their previous videos have been a bit of a headache for me to being able to put up on YouTube, so I do need to pause regularly. But in saying that, it just gives me an opportunity to marvel at that rising note of Marco's not long after my last pause. That was well-timed, controlled. Obviously, they've got fantastic sound guys who are feeding their audio into the monitors so he can hear himself perfectly, which you really need as a vocalist. Otherwise, you'll find yourself straining, like sing too hard or sing too softly, and especially singing too hard can, hurt the vocal cords. obviously not the case here. They've obviously got fantastic sound techs. Crowd surfing. Brings back memories of my youth. Never thought I'd hear a nice brutal breakdown in the middle of a symphonic metal song. Well done. I like the fact that so far every song of theirs I've heard has been stylistically different, and they're not predictable, which I really love. I swear, you change out the guitars for stringed instruments, add in a brass and woodwind section and a bit more percussion, and this could be used in an opera. So well done. There's one thing I wanted to point out here, and yes, once again, I'm stopping just so I can get this video through without getting blocked. I'm assuming by the promoters of Varkin have probably keeping a very close eye on their material. I'm not sure if I pointed out in previous videos, but what the guitars and bass are doing in a lot of these songs, it's not complicated, but it's not overplayed, which I love. I really do tire of music that's overplayed for the sake of showing off. But the guitars and bass in all the Nightwish songs so far, even at the simplest parts, are played to exactly what the music needs, and it's played so cleanly. Like, there's no excess noise, and it just goes to show how well trained on their instruments these musicians are. Like, even when the guitarist was having a drink while letting a note ring out. No excess noise. It's a credit to both them and the sound crew. Because the last thing you want is a guitar feeding back, or string noise or pick scrape, while Floor's trying to command the audience with that amazing voice. Okay, I'm just going to pause it one more time there, just so I don't interrupt what is likely to be the crescendo of the song. I like how just after I mention how everything's kept simple, Marco does a little bass run there. But it was what's the right words? It was a fairly simplistic bass run, but still added that little accent to the music. And that's really the best place for them. Right? They lose their impact if you're doing them every 4 bars. Throwing a couple in 1 or 2 sections, that's what they're there for, to those little bits of emphasis. Okay, hopefully this should be, I should be able to let it play through to the end for me. Okay, they caught me off guard there. Obviously, all you guys who know this song well knew that last bit was happening, but I thought the song had actually ended and they come in for just that little bit more. Very nice. Yeah, what threw me off in the little bits before that was they were doing a rhythm of 5 beats, and then I think it was a 3-beat stop. So I think it may be in an 8/4. I could be wrong. Measuring time signatures is not my strong point. I do try, but I generally leave that to the much more theoretically trained in my band to work out what the time signatures are. Just quickly going to bring up their wiki, just because I don't want to get any of the band members' names wrong, and being that numerous of them are European, my pronunciations would not be fantastic. So I'll just cut it quickly here, and I'll be right back. Okay, back again. Now with some information on the band members. Just as I said before, you exchange the modern metal instruments for traditional concert instruments, such as violins, brass, woodwind, cellos, and wide range of percussion. And this song could have easily be used in an opera or a stage production. It just goes to show how amazing the songwriting is. And I believe the songwriting is done primarily by the keyboardist, Tomas, I believe his name is. Just phenomenal songwriting. You can tell he's obviously classically trained. I wouldn't even class him as a songwriter. He's a composer, because weaving all these textures is not, what I would class as plain songwriting. It's composing. He's composing a symphony, hence symphonic metal. And they certainly put the symphony in symphonic metal. The guitar work by Empu, and I don't believe there was a second guitar in this one, or at least they didn't show it, but I know in previous ones there has been, I believe, by a guy named Troy. At least that's what the Wikipedia is telling me. So if I'm wrong, please, don't cut the head off the messenger. But Empu's guitar work in this, minimalistic, but exactly what the song needed. Obviously, the guy can play. As I stated during the video, all the guitar and bass work was really nice and crisp, understated where it needed to be. In certain parts was more at the forefront, like in the breakdown, but still very crisp. Not a lot of wasted noise. I believe the drummer's name is, where is it? Yuka. I believe that's how it's pronounced. I could be wrong, but I believe Yuka is the pronunciation. Once again, not, at least in this song, not overly complicated, but very bang on. Not a lot of variation. I would not be surprised if he's playing to a click track, which, to be honest, you're playing a gig this size with this kind of music, you'd be crazy not to. I wouldn't be surprised if all the band members had a click track in their in-ear monitors. But everything's so precise. Fantastic work. Like, as much as I have said some of the previous ones, like, I really got into, I think this one has actually impressed me the most on a performance level and a songwriting level. Just fantastic. And Marco's vocal work in this really stood out more than the other songs that I'd seen so far. Just a pity he's not with the band anymore. I haven't looked into why he left or anything like that, but fantastic work. And obviously the replacement they've gotten since he left is also fantastic, as the most recent song of theirs that dropped, I think, 2 months ago, pointed out, or demonstrated, still fantastic. It would have been a tall order searching for a replacement for Marco, because his vocal work fits the band so well, and not to understate his bass playing. Like, he plays exactly what's needed to. Added a couple of little bass flourishes in there, which just, as I said before, were accents to what was needed, which is what I prefer. When I was younger, I tended to overplay because I wanted to show off. As I've gotten older, especially getting into bands with some very good musicians, I find backing off from that, because I found how unnecessary it is, especially once I really started getting into Pink Floyd stuff. It's a cliche, but sometimes it's about what you're not playing as opposed to what you are playing. And sometimes those silences or more simplistic performance lines can be even more impactful than playing 100 notes a minute. Don't get me wrong, that can be fun too. But I much prefer a song to sound really good than make people think, oh, he's a really good bass player. If anything, I'd like people to go, damn, that song was really good, and he played that really well. That's what I prefer these days. It's probably why I'm not a lead guitarist. That's all I've really got to say about that. Fantastic for once. I think this might be my favourite one so far, especially, as I said, from a songwriting composition point of view. I do have another one of theirs lined up for the next few weeks, so hopefully I'll be just as impressed by that one. As always, please give the video a like, share it if you feel the need. Definitely hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. The algorithm's not liking me that much these days, certainly not compared to what it used to, so every little bit helps. And please, if you've got any thoughts on what other music I should be checking out, whether it be by Nightwish or any other bands, please head down to the comment section and let me know. If you like the video, please also comment, let me know. If you didn't like the video, I know I'm on a ramble here, but head down to the comment section and let me know what you didn't like about it. And provided it's not, needlessly malicious, I'll take it to heart. If it's just some trolling, I'll probably ignore it or have a bit of a chuckle and move on. As always, if you want to support the channel even further, head on over to the Patreon page. I finally have a winner for the last voting poll, so I'll be chucking that up. Probably going to start doing something a little bit different with the polls going forward, just because, rather than me choosing the songs to put in a poll, I'm thinking I might open a post on the Patreon for 2 weeks at the start of each month where anyone can comment and suggest a song, and at the end of that 2 weeks I'll take the top 5 or 6, or at least the top couple of songs, and put them in the poll for my Patreon members to vote on. That seems to be a pretty fair way of doing it, I believe, and takes a bit of my own personal bias out of it as well, because, as I've said before, one of the reasons I'm doing this is to discover new music. I can listen to songs I know all day, every day, but that doesn't expand my musical horizons, and so far in the 5 months I've been running this channel, it's been a hell of a journey so far. So I want to thank everyone out there who's ever watched any of my videos, especially those who have commented with songs for me to check out. I want to thank you very much for that, and just let you know I very much appreciate it. Well, if you've gotten this far, you've done pretty well, because I've just noticed this video is about 30 minutes long. So I'm going to wrap it up here. As always, I've been Turk, you've been awesome. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.